a musical relationship slash friendship was born. Even with playing music on stage with other musicians, there has to be chemistry there, and at the same time, it's like you want to be able to have chemistry away from the stage as well. Because if you have chemistry away from the stage, your show and your stage presence and everything like that is going to be
People
even
pick
greater.
up on it. Not just entertainment, what we do. We'll be talking to designers and entrepreneurs and people just trying to get their t-shirt brand popping. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your hustle is, this is Hustlenometry 101.
My slogan for my business, I love to say everyone needs a little faith.
Charlamagne the God would say, sometimes you gotta roll it up for everybody. Like,
Yeah. Shout out to Lil C.
So like I told you, I got these.
Brandon.
But
Brandon.
last time I've been booed in my life.
Mic check 1 2. My mic sound nice.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube and Facebook land. Thank you for joining us for yet another live installment of the hottest new internet sensation to date by the name of the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. We'd like to welcome you guys to another installment. You know I got to let the music ride just a little bit.
You got to get the hook in.
Just a little bit.
What's the hook gonna be?
What's the hook gonna be? I have no idea. We might not need a hook.
We don't need no hook for this.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, come on in, grab yourself something to drink, something to eat. Prepare yourselves to hang out with us for the next 30 to 45 minutes as we prepare ourselves to touch base with you guys. And we have a wonderful guest lined up for tonight. And we just want to thank you guys for coming. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022. And we are thankful to be here yet again. We're grateful, we're blessed, we're humble, we're highly favored, we're gifted, talented, and all of that above, So what's up, bro? Before we get into our introductions, how you doing today?
Doing well, man. I've been on a little bit of a wedding hiatus. I had a couple weeks off from weddings. And I had one this past Saturday that I won't really count because it was real small. But starting this month in August, we ramped this thing up for the second half of the year, man. August, September, October is nuts.
Yes,
Shout out to Mellow Groove. I'm wearing my Mellow Groove shirt because I do have a couple of mellow grooviest moments in some of these weddings coming up. I got V Keys. I got V Keys for 2 of them. He'll be singing at two of my weddings this year, this month. And I have Mr. Easy Tim on the drums. And of course, I got Midas the MC hosting a wedding with me this month as well. So it's going to be a Mellow Groove famous August situation, man.
Yeah, for those of you at home that don't know, I'm a member of 2 bands. Bands will make you dance. Mellow Groove, as well as they literally will. Mellow Groove as well as the chairman of the board. So
absolutely.
Just to make sure everybody's clear. It can be hard to keep up with what I got going on, but but we about to get into our Mellow Grooves. We're coming off of 3. Hey, Mom. Hello there. We love you. Mom's always supporting them every week. We appreciate you so much.
For sure. And
my
guy Matthew's in the house too.
Throw these up real quick. Let's see what we got.
What's happening, Captain?
Matthew, hey, happy birthday to my brother Matthew. Just celebrated a birthday
Happy
July
birthday.
28th. He's 39 right now. I hope you don't mind me telling your age, but it's
put all his business out there.
Yeah, put you on Front Street.
Who's trying to tell him he's 35?
Hey, I don't think guys are as sensitive about those things. If I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? But we had the chairman of the board had a busy weekend last weekend. We had another hat trick Swayze. You know what I'm saying? We played Thursday in Statesville. Friday was Holden Beach. Saturday was an event for the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, which was in Garner.
Yes, sir.
And so we had a busy. July was crazy, but we wrapped it up. We only playing Saturday this week, and then I do my church function. So you need a week like that every once in a while, a little bit slower, so you can catch your breath.
Yeah. Speaking of chairman of the board, shout out to Mr. Summer himself, Ken Knox.
Yeah,
Last week he joined us, and that was an amazing episode. If you did not see the episode last week with Ken Knox,
it was a great chat.
yeah, check us out on YouTube. Make sure you get on the YouTube, follow us, like us, share it. He
Yes,
definitely shared some jewels, man. He took
Jewels.
us
Yes,
back to Detroit,
Detroit
all the way
Motown
to
days.
the history of beach music, how beach music got its name. I'm not gonna spoil it. You gotta watch
Yeah, please go over to our channel at No Shortcut Show, which we will put that link in the comments
it. Yeah,
after we wrap tonight, folks. And
absolutely.
speaking of share, before we proceed, we want to encourage everybody that's watching. And as my father would say when he was on the radio when I was a kid, everybody that's under the sound of my voice,
Yeah.
hit that share on your Facebook right now. You know,
Uh-huh.
start a watch party, get you a few of your own friends in
Yeah.
tonight, and we're here to break bread.
That's a good idea. Make
Yeah,
this a Tuesday night watch party situation.
let's do it. Let's
Appointment
do it.
viewing.
Yeah. And if this is your first time, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't know what the No Shortcut Show is about, this is a platform that was the brainchild of DJ Famous
Okay.
and myself, and we wanted to inspire and give information to those who are entrepreneurs or maybe
Mm-hmm.
straddling the fence to become so.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we have a platform here where we can communicate. We can share our stories. You guys in the comments can share with us, and we can help each other along the way. I always say we dare not try to come across like we have all of the answers,
Mm-hmm.
but we're here to be a conduit for the conversation. You know, so we
Absolutely.
appreciate. Yeah, let me
Absolutely.
introduce this guy. By the
Oh, we
way,
didn't even start the show.
nah, we have it. We yeah, we about to get right into it because
Yeah.
we don't want to keep our guests waiting too long,
Absolutely.
and we don't want to keep you guys at home waiting too long. But ladies and gentlemen, the guy who's to the left of my screen here, your screen as well, he is a digital media strategist. He is an event coordinator. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
He's the producer of this very platform, and he's also the co-host of this very platform.
I do a little
And
things.
back to the DJ thing, you know, I gotta say, as I say every week, he's your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. So
Oh.
please, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise at home while we make some noise on the screen for Mr. Travis Bizel, aka DJ Famous.
Hey.
Yeah, the vocal horse
I
straight
gotta
together.
delete that bicycle horn because
Yeah,
I keep hitting it by
I'll
accident.
come by and delete it for you.
Yeah. Hey man, I do appreciate those
For
kind
sure.
words, of course. And as always, I am with my co-host,
Yeah, yeah.
my right hand man.
Uh-huh.
When we thought of the idea of this podcast and this show, there was no other person. I said, this is what we're gonna do. We thought of it
Appreciate it.
actually a long time ago, and then I came back to the idea about a year later,
Hmm.
and I said, yo, I gotta get my man. I'm not doing this by myself. I gotta get my man because he is a host extraordinaire,
Thank
MC,
you.
music director, of chairman of the board, member of Mellow Groove,
Yes, sir.
part of the Rock Hill, South Carolina Music Hall of Fame, right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And
He's
the
an
North Carolina
MC, North
Music Hall of
Carolina
Fame.
Music Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
MC, host,
Hmm.
music director, keyboard player,
Your check is in the
band
mail,
leader,
bro.
all these things, a master communicator, Mr.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay.
Mr. Jerry Midas Hardson. What's happening?
Yeah, man.
Put
Yeah,
some
yeah.
horns in the chat. Yo, Matthew likes the bicycle horn. Matthew likes the bicycle horn. I
Ah,
might
it's
keep it.
hilarious.
I
Okay,
might
so we're gonna
keep it.
keep it.
We might keep
We
it.
make it a thing. We make it like
Yeah.
a skit, like
Yeah.
dry humor.
Yeah. Yo, so this is the show, man. And I
Yeah.
like when we first, in our first couple episodes, when it was just Midas and I talking before we went live with it, and before we started bringing in guests, we would talk about how our camaraderie first happened.
Yeah.
It was born just from we had love of mutual things, and he would, when I was DJing, he would MC with me, and that way we would kind of play off of each other really, really was infectious.
Yeah.
And other people can see it and catch on to it and say, man, these guys are having so much fun over here. What is happening? And our guest today,
Yeah.
our guest today
Got a
was,
little bit of fun spilt
she
on
had,
her.
she had a little bit spilt on her. She was definitely a co-conspirator to all those happenings.
Yeah,
in our Empire Saturday nights in Fort Mill,
yeah.
and now she is the founder of her own venture called Cristy Creations, and we're gonna bring her on to talk all about it. But put some
Yes,
ones in the chat for Cristy Lynn.
yes, yes, yes.
Hi
Hey,
guys.
hello, hello, hello.
What's happening, Cristy
Thanks
Lynn?
for having me.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for joining us.
Thank you for joining us for
I,
sure.
I like the comments. She had some fun spilled on her.
Yeah, because
I gotta
it's
keep that one.
yeah, you can have it. You can have it. Sometimes there's a lot of fun going on, and if you get too
Yeah.
close, it's like the water rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just
don't
get
get fun on
a little splash
you.
zone.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
but as soon as we would walk in there Saturday night, we'd get there about 30 minutes before it was showtime. As soon as we get in there, the show has already started. Christy's
yeah,
right there cutting up with us.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That was so much
yeah,
fun. You
yeah.
guys made
So
it fun.
well, we try to bring the fun, and we try to do a good job at what we do, and it was many Saturday nights, like Famous is saying, where we're entertaining the crowd there, and you're working, serving and whatnot, and we were co-workers, so to speak,
Yep.
many a night, and you've come out to support Mellow Groove and different things that we've had going on over the years, and you're a genuine friend, and we definitely want to have you on to get our audience more familiar with what it is that you do.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
honored. Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So we should we start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Famous,
Yeah.
Christy, tell us a little bit, like just about where you're from and your childhood. Give us a little backstory of your.
I'm from South Carolina. I've always lived in Rock Hill, Chester, Lancaster, that area. The country, a country girl. So my family, we made things. We made things homemade. We
Mhm.
grew our own food. We made our own food. My grandmother would make my outfits. She would sew stuff for me. I'd get to go pick out like the fabric, and that was the coolest thing because I had stuff that like nobody else had.
Right,
And
right.
I still have to, like right now, she made a set of sheets for me when I was little. My daughter has them unicorn sheets on her bed right
Awesome.
now. So I guess that's where I got my creative gene. And
Yeah,
so yeah, she always made things homemade, and I like to be sustainable. So if
yeah,
I
for
see
sure.
something laying around the house, I want to make something out of it. I
Yeah.
want to make a piece of art out of it, or I want to preserve it or give it
Mm.
a new life.
Yeah, and you said something interesting a moment ago, as far as like picking out the fabric and having certain clothes and stuff made. My mom used to do that for us once upon a time we were kids. So I remember going up to mom, if I'm not mistaken, because she's on. I think we used to go up to BC Moore's, was the name of the department store. Pick
Mm.
out some fabric. Mom would make us all kind of nice little jam shorts, I think they would call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the one of ones. You got gear that nobody else had. So that took me back to those days.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always great,
Yeah.
always great. Yeah. So did
Absolutely.
any brothers sisters? Are as far as you're growing up and
I have a sister. We didn't grow up together.
okay,
And it seems I'm the only one in the family who got like the artistic gene. It like went from my grandmother, skipped my mom to me. But I mean,
okay,
that's we made homemade gifts for everyone. We didn't grow up with a lot of money, so it was also
mhm,
we didn't have a choice to go and buy fancy things. And my grandmother would, knit us Afghans, and she would go out in the woods and get like sticks and pine cones and paint them silver and gold and put them on the Christmas tree. And
yeah,
um, I love homemade gifts. To this day, I prefer for someone to give me something homemade than store bought. It just means more.
Mm.
yeah. It means more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can relate to the on the other side when you were talking about the food, because now in our yard back here we have
Yeah,
tomatoes, I got cucumbers,
gotta have a
Me
little
too.
something.
watermelon,
Yeah.
I got
Mm,
and a lot of herbs, of course. I got some jalapeno
yeah,
peppers and some herbs. I just go right
I
out
got
there and
all the
cook
herbs.
them
It's so
things.
nice to just go on your back deck and
Yeah,
pick some basil or oregano.
yeah, yeah,
hmm, yeah,
absolutely. I love that.
yeah.
I love that.
Awesome. So when did you start getting into being artistic and being
Um,
creative?
Probably about 8 or 9 or 10. I was in 4-H, and from 4-H, I was like,
Mm.
oh, well, I love photography, and I
Yeah,
started doing photography, which I'm still really passionate about. And just I just wanted to make things pretty, bedazzle. I wanted to bedazzle
Bedazzle,
everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But we got to back up a second for those at home that may not know what 4-H, the 4-H club.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-H
Would
club.
would you mind explaining what the 4-H club is?
The 4-H club is a community organization that just gets groups of girls or boys together and teaches them about different things, and you do different activities. And it was very interesting. We met like other farmers that would teach us about their crops, or we would make things or do little, scientific projects.
Uh
So I
huh.
guess it's like a community club.
Mm.
Yeah, and you started taking pictures also. You said.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just got a professional camera. I'm about to do my second family photo shoot. I've
Okay.
always been super into photography, so I'm also doing that as well. I want to do a lot of free shots just to build my portfolio
Yeah,
up. So
for
if
sure.
anybody else is interested in that,
Uh huh.
I'm your girl.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always
Well, we have
interested in
to.
photography for
Yeah,
sure.
we're gonna
Trying
have
to
to.
teach
We have to
people.
arrange something.
I always need some pictures. I can get you to come to one of my weddings and just shoot and
Maybe
just
she should come
I
on the
would love
on the
to.
13th, huh?
yeah, that would be
I would
great.
love
We'll,
If
to.
you
we'll, we'll
could come
talk about
to
it
yeah,
offline because
off
we
yeah,
got a
we
lot going on the
yes.
on the 13th. So we'll.
Yeah, if you can come to this
Like,
wedding and just shoot and I can clear it with the bride. We'll talk about this
yeah,
later.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For
We're
sure.
gonna we
Okay.
Back to
digress,
you.
right?
Back to you.
Yeah, now, real quick, now, is the photography gonna be incorporated with Christy Full Creations,
So
or
I would
just
like for it to be. I love nature photography. That's my
mm,
number one thing. I'm just
Mhm.
now starting to do, put like people in my photos. I just see things from a different perspective, and I want other people to see that too.
mm,
So I would like to eventually, yeah, sell some of my prints.
wow,
Yeah,
wow,
you definitely have a great eye for it, and I put your Instagram on here because we want people to definitely check out your Instagram and
yeah,
follow
that's
at
it right
Christy
there,
for
folks.
Creations because there are some aside from the work that you do, other things that you create, the photographs on there are really good too, really good. So
Yeah,
make sure y'all
and
check that out.
I suppose you're capturing those visuals yourself for your Instagram page. They're
Yes.
wonderful. They're wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on Instagram, you see the at Christy Full Creations right there. You want to go over there and you want to
Yeah,
follow.
yeah.
I
And
make sure
I'm gonna start loading more of my professional photos. My nature photos are on my other Instagram page, Cristy Lynn
Mhm.
1111. But
Oh,
Okay.
I do want to start loading more of my professional photos onto Christy Full Creations.
All right, absolutely. So,
so
so go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
on the creation side, what do you remember about the first thing you created that really inspired you to say this could actually be a thing?
I was thinking about that earlier. I really like to paint. And like I said, I've always made people's homemade gifts. Like all of my friends, if it was their birthday or Christmas, they loved my art. So that's what I made everybody. I gave everyone a piece of my art. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just do some for myself. And
Yeah.
maybe I need to start selling this.
Hmm.
Everyone loved my paintings. And from paintings, I painted canvases. I went to painting pieces of wood. I'll paint anything I can find. I recently started collecting deer skulls. When I go on my nature hikes, I've been finding deer skulls.
Dead,
So I want to get
dead
into
deer.
like repainting those.
Yeah.
I like to paint everything. It's therapeutic.
Yeah. So, what do you do with the skulls? I mean, like you just find a pattern or come up with an idea of a pattern to put on the
So
skull.
I have a backdrop, like a piece of cutout wood, and then I paint the deer skull. And yeah, I can do like gold or different patterns. I haven't done one yet, but I have a little
You got
sample
a
of some
sample?
things I
Okay.
found while I was hiking. So I find a lot of different skulls and bones and stuff like that. And I just redid my kitchen, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy anything from the store. I'm just gonna make
Wow.
everything homemade.
Nice.
So you see that? So that's
Yeah.
just a little wooden loom, and I had some extra fabric,
Okay.
and there's a little squirrel skull and some deer
Wow.
horns,
And this is all from nature walks and
all
whatnot.
from nature. I try
Cool.
to be as sustainable as possible.
Hmm.
Leave less of a carbon footprint. And
Yeah.
I just find these things, and I mean, we're a part of nature, and I just want people to appreciate nature more, you know?
Mhm. No, I get it.
I want to I want them to see from my perspective and inspire them more. And it's a way of like giving everything a brand new life, you know?
Yeah, I still have now that I'm thinking about it, I still have a necklace that you made for me. I think it was I may be saying it wrong, but it was wooden, but I think it was in the shape of like a arrow kind of, right?
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
painted
I
black, but it
remember
had the,
that.
the red, black, and green. I don't know all the proper terms.
Rasta colors. I think I did
Yeah,
Rasta colors.
yeah. So I still have it. I should have wore it
Nice.
today.
Yeah,
What
nice.
am I thinking? I still
You
got
were
it though.
thinking.
Yeah,
That's
I'll get it.
awesome.
I'll get it after we sign off and show it
yeah.
to you.
We'll put it in post
Okay.
production.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we got the first things that you were beginning to make. Now, how old were you when you started? Were you still like high schoolish or done with school?
Yeah, high school. Well, drawing. I did a lot of just black and white drawing. I was really good at drawing. I go through different phases. I'm just so creative. I'm
It's all
like jack
artistic
of
though.
all trades, master of none, if you will.
Ah, come on now. You're being humble.
So I did a lot of drawing, and then
Uh,
yeah, so I started painting like maybe a high school after high school.
okay.
Just making little things here and there. I sewed my own clothes. I made my own bell bottoms. I would cut
Really?
my blue jeans and like add fabric on the
Yeah.
side. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's all forms of expression.
yeah, for sure, for
You
sure.
know.
And
Hmm.
what about the first piece that you were commissioned to make for like pay? Like when is the first time someone paid for your work?
I think the picture you have, you showed it up here earlier, you're gonna show it later, is the
Which one?
woman in the rain.
Oh,
Reggie, one
okay.
of my regulars said, I want this picture. That, yeah.
Oh, nice.
One of my regulars said, hey, I saw this picture, I love it. Can you do it? And I was like, okay, I'll try. And so
Wow.
I actually donated the money to it's when another country was having a flood or something, and I was like, "Hey, I'll do paintings if you guys just give me the money. I'll donate it." And maybe it was
Sweet.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Type of
awesome.
international crisis. It's been so many.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with.
right.
But that's a beautiful notion to for your first sales. You wanted to donate to a charity.
Yeah, my first sales all went to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
that's
awesome.
awesome. That's very awesome. And we've touched on uh, previous episodes. Ways where you could give back, whether it be through charity or helping someone along who's in the same line of business that you are. But it's always important to give back. But it's really cool that you started out giving back.
Right.
Pretty much. Why did you feel led to do that? If I may ask.
Um, Well, I one of my regulars was from Puerto Rico, and he was telling
Ah,
me about his mom, and she didn't have water and she didn't have heat, and I just always want to help people. And I think that's probably not the first time I've done that, but I was like, I helped him personally because that was a straight connection.
right.
So I just said I wanna help everyone in Puerto Rico, and if you guys will buy this, I'll donate it to him. And so I gave it to him to give to his mother.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I did pull up a couple other ones I wanted you to talk
Oh,
about.
okay.
You mentioned the roster colors earlier with Midas, but I love this piece right here.
Oh yeah, that was a friend's birthday, and that was my very first attempt at Jimi Hendrix, and it did not turn out well,
Okay.
but it's still
It's
super
unique
cool.
though.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I
Like
can
just
see
don't
the.
say it's Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
you just don't
They'll
call it.
never know.
Yeah, but
Yeah. It could
that's a
be
beautiful
Johnny
piece.
Hendrix or
Yeah,
something. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That's very cool. I love that one
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. I could kind of see like the hair, the
Yeah,
similarity.
yeah,
And of course it was your first attempt, but it could still be something that's unique to your creation.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It still looks
So
good
yeah,
though.
that's what started it. Just I'm like, hey, it's so and so's birthday. Let me make them something, and they love it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you
That's
were telling us what I call our virtual green room, the different places that you do sell your merchandise. You wanna tell our audience where they can find you as far as
Yes, I'm just getting started. I'm still building a website. I'm still navigating around Etsy. Etsy is very difficult, and you have to pay for every single listing. You have to pay them for
Mhm.
every listing. So, pretty much, I do Facebook Marketplace. I do a lot of word of mouth. I know a lot of people in the community. I do
Mhm.
craft fairs. Anytime there's a craft fair, I run a little booth and put my stuff
Mhm.
up. But
Mhm.
yeah, renting booths, craft fairs, word of mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. When and where are craft fairs normally located?
All different places. Rock Hill, is growing big
Oh
time. They
man,
have a lot of
yeah,
stuff on Main Street. They have like the
it's moving
new
everywhere.
Mercantile on White
Mhm.
that has a lot of booths.
Mhm.
Just I follow people. I see it on Facebook or Instagram. So and so spring fair, Christmas fair.
Mhm.
sweet.
Interesting. Interesting.
So, since you've been actually selling your items, have you, what's been difficult? What's been the hardest part of the
Um,
venture now?
there hasn't been too many hard parts. I would say, um, I'll make like especially holidays. You've seen my gnomes on my page. I'll make a lot of like
Mhm.
Valentine's Day gnomes. My gnomes are very
There
popular.
you go.
Christmas gnomes, and there was just people wanted so many. I had to keep. I usually just make stuff because I want to and I want to be creative and I have extra and I'm like, let me sell it. But it was
A demand, huh?
people were really wanting them. There was a demand, and so I was like,
Wow.
okay, so I got to make. So I would just stay up late. I'm like, I got to make this for so and I have to finish this, and pretty much just to keep supplying a product fast
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, yeah. Was
That's a
there a
good.
difficult part for you in the beginning, when you were starting your business, or was it just like a smooth transition? You know, as you were building.
It's hit or miss. Like I would do a craft fair, no one would show up, and I would set up my booth and get all excited, and that would be disappointing. But it's hit and miss. You just got to go
Yeah.
with the flow, and you still meet people, and you still talk to people and network.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. We all have had some moments in the beginning that didn't necessarily go. Even we've talked about prior. Things didn't necessarily go how you expected them to. But I
Sure.
think the most important part is to be persistent and to not give up. So obviously, it seems like
Exactly.
that's what you've done, which is
I
which is
wanted to give up a
commendable.
lot, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what another reason why we're here too is so we can inspire each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes just having these conversations can give you a little boost or give you a little insight that you may not have thought of,
Right.
or it's just great to trade ideas and get insight
Absolutely.
from other people's
For
journeys and
sure.
other people's stories. And we're all in the same boat at the end of the day of
Yes, we are.
being entrepreneurs or being self-made, because we do
Mhm.
go there's ups and downs to this journey. But if we could surround ourselves with like-minded individuals, it helps
We're
tremendously.
in this together.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So when you say that there were times that you wanted to give up, what was it that made you push forward instead?
Probably that I still had all the supply that I needed to get rid of. So
And sit on
I'll
all
give
this
you an
work.
Yeah.
example. I did, uh, I like to recycle, reuse, remake. I don't let anything go to waste. And I think I have a piece right here.
Okay.
Someone had given me a Grateful Dead calendar, and you guys know I'm a hippie. I go to
Mm-hmm.
the Grateful Dead shows, and so
um,
I used all the pictures out of this calendar. I cut them out and I made art with them.
oh
And
wow.
something like this. Let's see.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
Nice.
that's a
yeah.
picture
That's
from the
nice. I
calendar,
saw
and I
that
just
one.
did my splatter art. You can see I love my splatter art.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's great.
Just stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I made a lot of those up out of like a whole
Mhm.
calendar, and it was a lot of work. And I went to the show, and I was gonna sell my artwork, and I couldn't get into the show. It was packed, it was closed down,
Crazy.
the gates were locked. So I have all of this stuff, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start a page. I'm going to list this stuff on my page. And sure enough, like people have bought it just from seeing it on Instagram.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Now, with the splatter art, would that be considered what I think to be abstract?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like abstract.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's,
Okay, yeah.
here's
It's just like
another.
now. How would you define abstract though in your own terms? Because I don't know. I think I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it.
That's a good question,
Oh
Jerry.
wow. I guess
That's a great
abstract is just
question,
abstract,
Jerry.
huh?
Abstract, I feel like abstract is something you can't figure out, but it
Yeah.
still looks good.
Okay.
Your
Yeah. So
question was the answer.
yeah, there you go. Abstract is just abstract.
Yeah.
Go figure. What do
Yeah,
we
out
know?
of the
Yeah.
norm, out of the box,
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
people think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were speaking of the Grateful Dead. I also pulled this one. I wanted to show. I wanted to show the world too because I love that one.
Oh,
That Grateful
yeah.
Dead painting. That was really
Yep, I
cool.
just recently gave that to a friend as a birthday gift.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I
That's
see the
awesome.
splatter of the border.
Yep.
Is that like your signature thing? Maybe even
It
subconsciously?
is, I it might be. My art is really abstract like that, and I do a
Mhm.
lot of pouring and splatter art. I
Mhm.
think it's just because it's the most fun and therapeutic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it
It's
but it
very
works.
Jackson Pollock. I always like Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
It's just you can't go wrong. Like you can't mess it up. You just add
Right.
more color and splatter, and
Mhm.
it's a process. And I mean, this one probably took like an hour, hour and a half before I was like, I want to get the colors right. I want to
Right.
get the
The
splatter
proper
right.
balance and stuff.
It's just fun and therapeutic. It's
So do
like
you find
therapy.
do you find that you're releasing something when you're doing that splatter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
letting that energy out.
Yeah, because I mean, my arm is sore the next day.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's a workout within itself.
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
We're here
So
with Cristy Lynn, the abstract.
yeah, no, I mean, and the fact that, and even with like doing music, it's therapeutic for me. It's
Yeah.
it's like it's hard to describe when I'm like playing music or on stage for 2 or 3 hours, but it's a whole
Hmm.
nother zone of concentration, um, and focus. And it's yeah. So I can understand what you mean when you say
Hmm.
like painting is therapeutic for you.
Yes, sir.
It just helps
Absolutely.
level. You forget about all your worries and
Hmm.
everything for a little
You
while.
do because, when I'm painting or I'm creating something, I'm looking at that and thinking about that. Like, I don't have time to think about everything else I'm overanalyzing or worrying about. Like, you're just
Mhm.
thinking about that one project and you get lost in the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would also imagine being lost in creating. When you're done creating, it gives you a different perspective on what it is that you may have been antsy or worried about in the first place. It kind of
Hmm.
brings you a calm. So
Yeah.
I can
Right. And then sometimes you can use that. You can use your worry or pain or whatever or confusion and put it into your art.
Hmm.
yeah.
Like
No.
sometimes if I would have a bad day at work, I would come home and light candles and incense and just sit on the floor and paint something.
Wow.
I
Mm,
actually did that not too long ago, and I came up with this.
Nice.
mm.
It's like a body with
Yeah, with the
flowers
flowers
sprouting out.
coming
Oh,
out of
out
the
of the
head.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
that's
good.
cool. I didn't know that. If I thought it was just a vase at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
I can
but
kind
that's
of
creative though.
so like with so we can all get different interpretations out of that, but I can see that as being like what you're saying is a vase, but our body is the
It's a
vase for the beauty to come out of us. You see that? That's
yeah.
Yes.
Come
nice,
on,
right?
man.
Bloom
Let's
where
get
you are
deep.
planted.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
there we go.
yeah,
There we go. I can interpret them things. So
yeah.
aside from the painting, I also just pulled this Cristy Lynn jewelry original right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
nice. Very nice.
yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
very nice. So that's something
So,
you also.
now that you pull, I'm actually wearing one of my
Oh yeah.
originals. This is
Mm-hmm.
coral
Okay,
and jasper.
Okay.
okay. Very
Um,
nice.
Now, see, you have to show me things, and it reminds me. Now that you
Yeah.
brought that up, The very first things I ever started making were the hemp necklaces. Remember everybody braided the
Mm-hmm.
hemp necklaces?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the first stuff probably I ever started making, and I would take them to my concerts and shows and try to sell them. And
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
still have tons of hemp necklaces.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow. Yeah. You made a lot of things from painting to
Yeah.
to the necklaces and even some bracelets. Right. You had some
Yep,
bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
earrings, I make it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you said to the concerts, like you actually, you go to concerts and set up tables and stuff like that for you to sell your stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like hippie tailgating, and you don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
pay for a
Okay.
booth, and
Yeah.
everyone just sets up their canopies and sets up a table, and you put your stuff
Yeah.
out, and you have 50 other people doing it as well. You know, people have food that they're selling, people have, merchandise that they're making or
Got
hats
you.
they're selling or,
Oh, that's
different stuff.
very smart. And so this is prior to going into the actual concert.
Right.
You're like the pregame.
Okay.
See, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's called Shakedown Street.
Hey, all right. You teaching me something new here.
Yeah, for sure. Get you a hemp
Street.
necklace and a turkey leg. I
Yeah.
like it.
Veggie burrito. Come on now.
Oh, veggie
Yeah.
burrito. That's
Oh
right.
yeah. So
Hippie. That's right.
are you
Hippie.
vegan, Christy? Are you
What's
vegan?
that?
I was asking,
Um,
are you vegan? I'm going off topic.
I tried to be vegan for a while and it did not agree with me.
Oh, okay.
My body said I need more. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I try to
Okay.
be vegan, but I'm still conscious about it. I still buy like pasture raised eggs and stuff like that and try to know, where my meat and stuff's coming from. My
Yeah.
family, we grow a lot of our own stuff. My mom,
Yeah.
she cans everything, like all of our
Mm-hmm.
vegetables and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. When you said veggie taco, it just made me think. I didn't know if that was
Yeah.
the
That's what you
situation.
get on Shakedown
That's what's
Street.
happening on
Yeah. Oh,
Shakedown.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
I hope. I guess they're pretty good. I've never had a veggie taco.
A little
Oh
soybean
yeah,
burger.
Yeah. I'll try
maybe,
it though.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll see. And for folks, if you're still watching, if you got any questions that we're gonna get to here in a moment, if you got any questions for Cristy Lynn, go ahead and drop them in the comments,
Yeah. Please do.
and we'll
Please
get
do.
right to you. And we hope everybody has already hit the share button. And once again, after we sign off tonight, we're gonna come back and put uh, the channel, the link for this channel, so
YouTube.
you can subscribe. We're gonna put that in the
YouTube.
comments as well.
Make sure you follow the YouTube. So, Christy, what would you say is what has been the most rewarding part of your journey so far?
Just seeing the sheer joy that everybody has when they receive something that I made. Like,
Mm.
I just can't believe, like, I'm like, I made that. They're happy from
Yeah.
something that I made.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I can imagine it's fulfilling, and even with like doing music, it's the most fulfilling part to me is the fact that you can give other people a good time for a few hours,
Mm-hmm.
and bring smiles to their faces, and to see them laugh and sing and dance, whatever the case.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I I really
Yeah.
enjoy that part. So yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
makes me feel good because, you're your own worst critic always.
yeah.
And so you're always criticizing your work, but when someone else likes it, you're like, okay.
Right.
Yes, yes. It's like the cosign that you need,
Mm-hmm.
to let you know, like, okay, you did a good job.
Yeah.
We all need that positive reinforcement from time to time. Certainly.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think my last question would just be just moving forward for other people watching this
Hmm.
that are interested in going into business for themselves, whether it be creating things like what you do, or music, or whatever they want to follow. Some sound advice from Christy Full Creations.
Yeah.
Just don't give up. And try to find ways to be inspired. I know nature inspires me, and don't, produce something just to produce it. Like you have to be in the mood. You have to be in that good, like loving, like spirit vibe,
Yeah.
um,
Appreciate it.
and if you can't figure it out, that's okay. Try different things. I mean, look at all the different things I do. I might
Yeah.
paint, I might make a necklace, I might make something out of bones, I might make something out of a piece of wood. Like,
Yeah.
we're all stuck under like these one labels. You don't have to be stuck under a label. It can
Yeah.
be a vast variety of things.
Very
And to
true.
just, yeah, find inspiration and don't give up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it takes work. I mean, it takes a lot to get out there and get your product sold. And
Oh yeah.
sometimes when it doesn't sell, you get down on yourself, but just keep doing it.
Keep
Yeah.
doing
And you
it.
said something that resonated with me before we came on. And you were saying everybody has a gift or something that they could do. You wanna expound on that real
Hmm.
quickly?
Well, I was thinking back to like old times when there weren't corporations and corporate America, and we all had to make stuff and we had to trade and we had to barter, and
Yeah.
everybody really does have a special gift. You just have to uncover it and find out what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. You just got to tap in,
Absolutely.
uh, to figure out what it is. For some
Yeah,
people, oh,
because
thanks,
back in
mom.
the day, in your old town or community, there'd be a blacksmith, there would be
Yeah.
a shoemaker, there would be
Hmm.
like, someone who made clothes or someone, who dried fruits. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everyone had a special thing that they did in the community.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you could barter and trade, and I probably said it before here too. We so many episodes in, but it's like the old, like, you got oranges, I got apples,
There you go.
and
Exactly.
There you
yeah,
go.
so
Let's
I'll
work
give
this
you
thing out.
three oranges for three apples, and
Yeah.
then now we both
Right.
have to get rid of everything, and
Yeah.
there wasn't necessarily a financial transaction that took
Hmm.
place.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's another thing I really like about my art is most of it is sustainable. Like I'm taking things around the house. Like I'm not buying, I'm not consuming, and then all that stuff goes into landfills. So I'm trying my best to lower my carbon footprint and use
Yeah.
things I have around the house, and I want to inspire other people to do that.
Hmm.
That's where my gnomes came in.
Hmm.
So my friend was throwing out these pieces of wood,
Mm.
and I was
Okay.
like, "Oh, can I get that?"
Hmm.
And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, because I want to paint stuff on it."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
Absolutely.
even my daughter, her dresser was falling apart, and I took it outside and I scrapped it and I kept the sides. The sides were like real oak wood, and that's where a lot of my gnomes came from. I'm
Yeah.
just, using stuff around the house.
Yeah, that's awesome because
Yeah.
one person's trash could be another person's treasure.
Exactly.
And famous,
Yeah.
you mind putting that comment back up that my mom? I think she
Yeah.
was saying that was good advice, and she was saying something else. I was thinking the same thing. We are
We're
all
all
creative
creative.
in our
Yeah.
way, in our own way, for
Yes.
In our
sure.
own way. Yeah. Just find out what your thing is. Like she said, you could be the
Right. It could
blacksmith.
be
You could
anything.
be
You
the
could be an
baker.
animal whisperer. You could
Yeah.
be good at talking to people. You could be good at making music. You could be good
Right.
at cleaning. There's
Yeah,
different little things.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
I
all
think,
important.
yeah, and I would start at, if you don't know what it is, like, figure out what it is that you like.
Hmm.
What are you
That makes
passionate
you
about?
happy. What is it that
Yeah.
brings you happiness?
Yeah.
Yeah, and start there, and then
Right.
and so on and so forth. You know.
That was the title of an old album by I don't know if you remember Nika Costa. You know who she is?
No.
I remember the name.
Yeah, she
What
worked
was
with
the name of the album?
everybody's got their something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have
everyone's
to
got
look
their
that up
something.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
N
Everybody's got,
I
and
K
which is a
K
fact,
A last name Costa. Everyone's got their something. Yeah,
and that's so true.
yeah.
And should we? Is this going to be the title of tonight's show?
Everyone's got their something. I was
That's
thinking,
great.
yeah, either that or find your inspiration.
Yeah,
That's a
we
good
can
one.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
So we kind of, Christy, if you didn't know, and folks at home, if you didn't know, we kind of named these episodes
yeah. You're
during
doing
while
wonderful.
they're going on, and
Oh,
we
Yeah,
okay.
figure out.
whatever
So when we
inspires
get
us
to
in that moment.
YouTube, we
Yeah,
have an actual title. So we try to
Nice.
go off of the conversation
yeah,
that we have live, and then come up with a
I
title for
like
it.
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even though
organic over here.
that one with Uno should have been called "Shout Out to Little C's." That should have been the name of the
Somehow I
episode.
knew you was gonna get back to that.
That's my favorite line, man. That's my favorite line. But
Yeah, man.
that's amazing. That's amazing, Chris. And like you said, I mean, you just never know what your thing is. Just start, like you said, start with what you love. This man grew up loving music. He grew up in a house full of music
Hey,
being played. Same thing with me. I grew up with my mom's old record collection, and my
Yes, y'all
brother,
have great music taste.
my
And if
brother
really
wanting
do.
to be
you
a
will be my
rapper.
DJ one day,
Yeah,
I
because you
always
already know
am.
everything that I like.
That's true.
yeah, yeah.
I still got that Christy folder on my laptop.
Yes.
All the
Yeah,
I
jams
think
on
I
it.
have it in my notes. I think I have DJ Famous in my notes on my
Yeah.
phone, like what songs to play.
yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. This has been beautiful, for us to initially, from the Hoopers or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and to for us, even me and the band to be playing at Empire, and
Yeah.
to MC with DJ Famous, and us all working in the nightlife,
We've known
and
each other
Yeah.
for a long time.
It's been a
yeah,
long
building
time.
having a genuine friendship, and going through the COVID and all of that, with the pandemic, and here we are in 2022, all three connected, but in a different way, and
Yeah.
doing some different things. So that shows the growth,
It's
Yeah.
you
beautiful.
know,
It
shows the
is.
growth that we have the mindset to
Right.
to be to be self-employed, to be entrepreneurs, to tap into our gifts, and to use those gifts as a way to put food on the table.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
hopefully we're inspiring other people to do the same thing.
That's the
Well,
goal. That's the goal of
yeah,
this show. I just blew up that picture a lot more than I'm supposed
yeah,
to be.
yeah,
Sorry about that, Chris.
yeah,
But
yeah.
That's
We
all
getting
right.
live.
that's
We
the
getting
goal.
live production.
Yeah, man. That's the goal of this show. We just like to inspire each other and to
Yeah,
inspire others out there watching, everyone in YouTube land, everyone in Facebook. Share it with your friends because you will hear something in here that inspires you to say, I can do this,
yeah,
even though
and then
that didn't
you,
work. I can do
and then
this.
and then that person could inspire
Hmm.
someone else, and
Exactly.
it keeps going. It's
Exactly.
just like paying it forward. And be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to go over to Instagram and follow at Cristy Full Creations.
Hmm.
Be sure to do that. She got some lovely things, paintings.
Might get
Absolutely.
some fun spilled on you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
that,
Gave
that
me a
might
little
have
bit
to
Spilling
of
be
my
fun
own.
for
it.
everyone.
That might have to be it. Get the food
Yeah, she
spilled
gave
on
me a
you.
little bit of my own medicine.
Yeah. Get the
Yeah, I think
fun
we
spilled
covered
on.
everything.
We
Yeah,
absolutely did. And as you can hear from Cristy Lynn's story, she's been doing this for a long time and she does a
yeah.
little bit of this, a little bit of that. She says a
Mhm.
master of nothing, but
She's no,
just
she's
like the theme
mastered.
of the show, she didn't take a shortcut to get there either.
No
She's been
shortcuts,
doing this
folks.
thing the long way.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You,
that's why we
you
call
got
this
any?
no
You guys got
shortcuts.
any closing words before we get out of here? Mom's laughing. I see mom's comments. She's laughing. I think you made my mom laugh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I had fun. I hope we all learned something. We all at least got a new wrinkle in our brain.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure, for sure.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you for being on with us. Do not hang up. Do not
No.
get
Yeah,
off. Stay on with us
Thank you guys.
as we close this thing out. Make sure you follow Cristy Lynn, Cristy Full Creations on the Instagram.
yes, yes, ladies and
It's a
gentlemen. I
pleasure.
guess we're gonna go ahead and sign off. We're gonna probably more. Yeah, we do this next week, same time,
We
same
will.
channel. Yeah, we will, and we'll get with you guys on who our guests will be for next week. We're gonna keep
Yes.
the outro short and sweet tonight.
Yeah.
Say God bless you all. Shout out to all of our friends, family out there. We appreciate your time. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next week. Good night,
Yes, sir.
folks.
Good
Peace,
night.
Bye,
love.
guys.
Bye.